Oh, I mean, ask you. Do you know? Are you aware of those? Are you aware of those religious messages on your on Messenger?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because they be sending me like these messages, like the one of those like those spam, those spam messages on Messenger. They be sending me like some weird stuff on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's from like religious, spammers who pose as like real religious organizations. Say
Oh,
like
wow.
yeah, like that's what I said because they be messaging me and I'm like I'm not gonna answer them.
Right. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, because all they do for because because you'll know what they'll do towards to your account.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. True.
All right. So I so I I I already made the review for Janelle Monáe's third album, The Computer. That's gonna be November 22nd.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be on both the film, like both the film and the album that was based off of.
Ah, okay. I got you.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Janelle. Yeah. 'Cause I think she's highly underrated as an artist.
Yeah, she don't get talked about a whole lot.
Yeah, because because Dirty Computer, because that album, because she showed like that's pretty much like she showed because some songs it just give me Prince vibes. Some songs on there could give me Prince vibes, which which is accurate because Prince was one of her mentors.
Right.
Yeah, he was one of her like they were best friends. Yeah, yeah, they were best friends, and they were one of her mentors. So it's blatantly clear that she was influenced by him, but she never bite off his style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. What's it? Oh. Uh. Ari Lennox is dropping a new album this year. Well, next year she's dropping a new album this
Hmm.
year or next year. It's called Vacancy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She got like four. Yeah, because she got soccer. Like, well, that's already been out. She got vacant yet under the blue. I think it's called uh, under the uh, under the under, under the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Crazy. Crazy work.
yeah,
But yeah, nah. I feel like yeah, I feel like yeah, Janelle Monae, like she's underrated. Yeah, like I with I know like a couple of her songs and stuff like that, but they people don't really talk about it like that.
yeah. And one thing I like about her music is that it doesn't feel conventional.
Right.
Like she can do like hip hop, she can do R&B, psychedelic soul. Like she can do Neil. Like she has the voice for Neil
Hmm.
for Neil soul as well. Like she don't stick to one genre. She does many genres. and that's why like Dirty Computer, when you hear the album, like, cause some songs like she be singing, she be rapping on some songs.
Hmm.
It's just, like she's very versatile, very versatile.
Right. Right.
Like that's
I
what I look
agree.
for. Like that's what I look for in R&B. Like the R&B I love. Like the artists I love in R&B are Janelle Monáe, C- Coco Jones, Ari Lennox, Kalani, uh, yeah, Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah. Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah.
Yeah, who has without a doubt in this era one of the best voices in this era. Like
Right.
like she had that old school vibe to her music. And that's what's
Yeah.
missing, like that old school vibe. Because
Right.
nowadays, like everything's just sound the same. Like one reason why I love Kalani is that her music, like she sounds like someone that could be in like 2000s R&B, 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send this to YouTube. I'm gonna post it on YouTube, saying that we're live and we'll
Cool.
get started.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. Um. So, what do you think about doing Javon Sullivan's album Hotel Motels?
When?
We could do like around if I'm not busy in December, we might do like early, like like in mid December.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah, yeah. I'll let you know.
Okay.
And
Cool.
yeah, cause yeah, cause I'm gonna do more like R like I know we did a lot of R&B artists, but I'm gonna do more Devin Sullivan, more. I'm gonna do Shantae Moore, cause I yeah Shantae Moore,
Right.
yeah 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 Shantae Moore, TLC, yeah, cause they need their flowers too, cause I
Yeah. I agree.
yeah. All right, so what's good, YouTube? Ray is in the building, and I got my best friend Mike with me.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
And today we're gonna review a 2024 movie known as The Substance, directed by none other than Coralie Fargeat. She and even if you don't know who she is, she's a French she's a French director from France. Best known her debut film is Revenge, and this one is and this one, The Substance, is a film about a woman named Elizabeth Sparkles. No. She's a 50-year-old woman in her 50s where she, after being scrutinized and mistreated by the industry for not being up up to par with beauty standards, she she takes this drug called the substance, where it turns her to better version a better version of herself, only to find out that nightmarish incidents ensue. One of the things I love about this movie is the trailer. The trailer does not give nothing. It does not give nothing away in the film. It just shows you certain shots in the film, but not like the big reveals and other. That's what all trailers need to be. Like they need to be like short, sweet, and not. It don't run for like 2 to 3 hours. So the story. So the film is a body horror film. It's also a drama. It's a body horror. Like sci. I won't say sci-fi-ish, but it had a sci-fi feel to it. It's body horror. It's a tragedy. It's a drama film. Psychological with elements of dark humor. It follows the story of Elizabeth Sparkle, who is in her 50s. She's going through that that perceived age limit where when you reach a certain age in Hollywood or in any industry or in any industry, you feel like your time is up. And she takes this, and then because of this, she feels so much insecurities, and she starts taking the drug called the substance, where it pretty much creates a better version, like a better image of herself. On to find out, thank you. On to find out that it, she takes a drug called the substance. On to find out that it leads to horrific circumstances and hijinks ensue, and that's the, that's all I need to know about the synopsis. So what are your thoughts on the film, Mike?
I'm gonna be real with you. When I first saw the trailer of it, I thought that okay, they're not really revealing too much of anything, which I love. Well, that's what trailers should be doing anyways. So that's kind of like a throwback to like the 19, where like back when movies didn't really reveal like the whole movie in like 2.5 minutes of trailer. Um, I thought I knew it was gonna be like a body horror of some sort, but what I didn't anticipate on was a whole bunch of movies in one. And the running time, yeah, it was what 2.5, almost 2.5 hours. And um, I'm gonna be real. The pacing of this movie, if you're gonna do a 2.5 hour, close to 3 hours, or 3 hour movie, you have to have the pacing to keep the people interested.
Exactly.
Now, the pacing of this movie and the way they paced it out, it was so well done. The atmosphere, I love the atmosphere part of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
All
The
right.
pacing of it was so well written. Like you saw pretty much the steps of what Demi Moore's character had to go through once she encountered like the substance drug that she take. You know what I'm saying? So like it was one of those things where You saw the process. It kind of sort of follows step by step of what the process was. And if you miss a day or whatnot, then this is what's going to happen in your body. So I feel like it's more than like a horror movie, but it's more of like this is what these characters. It's more of a character study. If you
Exactly.
minus the horror aspect of it, you get a character study. You know what I'm saying? Like you the character study of it was just so spot on because you have Demi Moore who was once, you know, you know, Demi Moore's character was once heartthrob, once the beautiful chick, which when you think about it, this is kind of Demi Moore's life in real life in a sense. Because and the reason why I say that is because Demi Moore at one point she was like the beautiful, female, and she was getting roles left and right. You know what I'm saying? But then after a while, you start people took as well, she's not the it girl anymore. So she's trying to stay relevant in this case, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much this kind of when you think about it, it kind of mirrors a little Demi Moore's life, where she was once a big star back in the 80s and 90s, and then she's not this big star anymore. She's like she was at one point they labeled her as a popcorn actress. You know what I mean? And up until this movie, which everybody took, now the critics and the Academy finally took her serious. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much, um, with this character, you start to have some sympathy of some sort because she's trying to stay relevant to the game. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to stay relevant, to Hollywood. And this movie kind of shows what Hollywood is kind of like, because Hollywood's not going to take it easy. If you get older, or they find one thing wrong, that's it. That's a wrap. So pretty much, um, with Demi Moore's character, it's more of a character. It's more of a caricature of her character. But then you add, jeez, you add, what's her name? What is
Margaret
that?
Qualley.
What is Margaret Qualley? Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about a little bit more of her in a minute, but um, when now you have Margaret Qualley, who's the younger version, who's
Yeah.
basically basically at this point taking over her life, which you kind of didn't really you kind of saw it coming, but at the same time you kind of didn't, and it kind of spiraled out of control. So pretty much like the pacing of it, it just shows you like what this person is going through and what has this person become. You know what I'm saying? So um this whole movie, to me, I think one of the best movies of 2024. I think Demi Moore, she deserved that Oscar nomination. I'm not gonna hold you. However, I did see now Mikey Madison won for Honora, which I saw that movie too. I love that movie. I actually Mikey Madison performance I thought was great, excellent. if I was the Academy Award, I would have tied it. I would have gave them both the Oscars because they for different movies, it was an equally strong performance. And I feel like with Demi Moore, this is something that Demi Moore needed in her career, late in her career. Now she's still,
Exactly.
she's doing her thing. You know what I mean? She's doing her thing with the with movies and stuff, movies, TV. She's still doing it. How,
Exactly. Like
however,
she's
how,
and she's still beautiful for her age.
yeah. And now the Academy now finally took her serious. I will say that if if feel like Ghost, I thought she was a shoe in for an Oscar nomination. It was the emotional performance that she gave. In that, I think she should have been at least nominated. This one, on the other hand, it's not only just the emotional performance, it's the physicality that she had to go through within the 2.5 hours of this movie. Now,
Hmm.
the last 15 minutes put
Yeah, don't spoil
that
that one.
that
Yeah,
caught me off guard because y'all know me. For those of you who know, who has been in my lives, I always talked about it. I don't do well with body horror unless it's a certain type of body horror. I don't mind, but then there's others. Nah. That was how I left feel. I'm like, oh, here we go again, and not mind you, I thought that this movie left me thinking about that ending for a week straight.
yeah,
Now, it if you wanna, I don't want to spoil it, but here's
yeah,
the thing:
yeah. It's
the last
yeah,
15 minutes, yeah, the last 15 minutes. I will say this: it's the 15 minutes that will leave you. It's memorable because when you think of movies in this caliber, you think of body horror, right? So this is a body
yeah.
horror movie. You think of movies like The Human Centipede or From Beyond or The Thing or
Society.
yeah, Society, exactly.
Yeah,
Now
that
I
movie's
will say
fucked
this:
up. That movie's fucked up.
what
Society.
Society?
That movie's fucked
Yes,
up.
yeah, it is.
Especially that
It is.
it's the shunting scene. The shunting scene that was fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
That
like,
was
yeah, like that. That's one thing about films like that. Like you can't tell what's real and what's not real.
right.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, was it? Smile. But smile. Yeah. Would you consider that body
Smile was
horror
nuts.
too?
Pretty.
Smile.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because even though that film, like, well, that and Smile too, like those films were more about mental illness, mental trauma,
Right.
trauma. But it did have some fucked up moments. Yeah.
Yeah. Now with this movie, you have you have you have a bunch of movies. One thing I loved about it, pay homage to the 80s and 90s body horror.
Yeah, it did. And yeah, the last 15, the new Year, like the last the ending. What was tell my live? All right. Yeah, like the line, those last 15 minutes, like it gave me Carrie vibes.
Really, Carrie?
Yeah, because like during during when that scene that infamous scene in Carrie where everything just went batshit
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It like the whole film is like the thing, the fly mixed in with a bit of Carrie, um,
yeah,
and also like Doctor Jekyll and Hyde, also Nutty Professor as well because it does give you like a Nutty Professor vibe because like because Sherman Elizabeth Elizabeth is like Sherman and Stu is like Buddy Buddy the like the alter ego of the original selves
yeah,
but
yeah. I agree.
but with Sue's character Margaret Qualley's character I think Margaret Qualley she really pulled off like she did a to me she did a good job with portraying how destructive Sue was in that film like because the way I see that film is like Sue is like the younger version of Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is the younger version of Sue. So that's why they keep saying like they're one. There's no she, there's no they. It's just
Hmm.
you. It's just you. Like you're one. You're the same person. It's just that Sue is the quote unquote better image than you, even though so pretty much she's regressing to those toxic ways of how
Yeah,
those people treated her. Like she's not growing from those traumatic experiences where they treat her like she's toxic waste and not like an actual person. They treat her like she's yesteryear, like she's last week, and
but
so pretty much she's regressing to those toxic standards, like how people like she's still beautiful. Like Demi Moore it's still beautiful, but it's just
yes.
people's like in their eyes, she's not beautiful in their eyes, their perceived eyes.
And see, what a lot of people don't understand is that people are going to age. They're not going to look the same. They're not, you know what I mean? Like you'll be fortunate if you don't age at all. But at the same time, typically what people forget is that people are going to age.
Yeah, you can't stay young forever. And one thing that
Exactly.
bothers me about one thing that bothers me about the people in the film, like, which is intentional because again they're known to be toxic people in the film. But
Hmm.
one thing about age limit, like there's no age limit to me. You have people in their 70s like still doing their thing. Like look at Cyndi Lauper. She's like 72.
Hmm.
She's still doing her thing
Yeah.
out here. Rolling Stones, like the like in their fucking 90s or something,
Right.
still doing their thing. Like Billy Joel, Phil Collins,
Yeah.
still doing their thing. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing I don't subscribe to is, oh, if you reach a certain age limit, like if you're over the age of 50, that means your life is over. No, it's not. Or
Look at
that
Clint Eastwood still directing acting.
yeah, that's the thing I really dislike is that people tend to like they put you in that type of position where they say, "Oh, you reach a certain age limit, um then no, yeah, if you reach a certain age limit like 50s or 60s then yeah then yeah your life is over with, or that stereotype, oh, then you must go to a retirement home and sit in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, which is no, not true.
Well,
So I can understand. So as destructive as she was, as destructive and morally corrupt and dumb she was, Elizabeth slash Sue, as toxic as she
yeah.
was when it comes to how she took the substance, I do feel bad for her. Because again, she's a
Yeah.
victim. She's a victim of Hollywood's beauty standards. She's
exactly.
a victim. Like she's a victim, like a flawed victim.
Yeah,
And that's one thing about the film. Like, there's no clear protagonist or antagonist. It's just a character study. Like you said, it's a character analysis on how on beauty standards, um, how people go to extreme lengths to to stay young and relevant.
exactly.
But it ultimately ends in it ultimately ends in in tragic ways.
Yep.
So that's why I say, like, to me, it's like it's a body horror, but it's also like psychological drama because she's also battling because she's was also battling her inner demons too. So
Yeah, I agree.
so what are your favorite scenes from like your top? I'll say top two favorite scenes in the film.
My favorite scenes was
Yeah,
when that 5 minute monologue with Demi Moore when she was cutting up the turkey, and then once she sees Sue on the TV, that's when she started getting pissed off, and it's funny too. It's funny, but at the same time, you can feel the emotion too. Like I think that's what to me that scene kind of solidified like her Oscar nomination.
it's
I
like, come
feel
on, come on, come get your fucking Jurassic fitness. I'm like, she was
exactly.
talking like, I mean, and I keep saying this, like, I keep saying this, like, you may think like that's one thing about Elizabeth, like she's treating Sue like she's another person,
Exactly, I agree.
even though that's literally you on screen talking shit about yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty when
Yeah,
you think about it, yeah,
that's literally you talking shit about yourself on like but it's in her mind, but
yeah,
it also it also mirrors how the young generation don't have respect for the for the older generation, where they just see them as like, you know toxic. They see them as like, oh, they did this. I don't recall watching their show or listening to their music. I just thought they were just
like
white. I just thought they were just white noise and that's it, and nothing else.
I
So
agree.
pretty much she was talking shit about her older self, and that
Yeah, you're right.
and that reflects reflects on how how the younger generation look at the older generation.
You're right.
It's yeah,
And then I like the fight. The fight scene I thought was good too. Like the fight scene, it was good. It was kind of funny too because it's like,
yeah,
well, you kicking your own ass in a sense.
yeah. Pretty much, yeah, yeah. That's why that's why I kept saying you are one. You are one. Like you are one. Like you're pretty much beating yourself up. Like that's one thing. It's self hatred. Like she has so much self hatred,
Yeah.
and it's not like, again, like, as as destructive as she was, again, like that's one thing. Like you can't tell who's right and what's wrong. Like, because it's all about, because the film again is a character study. Like, there's no antagonist. Like, she became her own villain is what it is.
Like
Her own worst, like her own demon. So my two favorite scenes are the scenes where, okay, the scene where she first started taking the drug called the substance. Um, at first, she was like, but she did the activator. She was like, oh no, like they just scam me. Then, but then she started to feel the side effects of the substance when she land on the floor, and you and you feel the physicality in that performance that Demi Moore gave off,
Right.
and it wasn't like it was bloody, like very bloody, and it start and then it gave birth to her alter ego Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and also let's talk about Dennis Quaid and the and how he abused the fish in that begin like the Dennis Quaid. Let's just say he's like a he give me like those when he play Harvey, he give me like those Ren and Stimpy vibe, like those corrupt businessmen who has no suffer who has no respect for the people that he hire, the people that he, you know, hires or puts in the industry. Like he has no real self respect at all. When it came to both her, when it came to both Elizabeth and Sue,
Hmm.
and that's the problem. Like Sue might enjoy like she might enjoy the limelight, but when she gets older, she going to experience the same bullshit that Elizabeth went through. So pretty much that's like you're saying that they're one because Sue is pretty much Elizabeth younger and Elizabeth is Sue older. So pretty much she's regressing, like she's regress like I said before, like she's regressing to those toxic ways, and that's how Harvey's gonna treat her when she comes of age. Well, even though she's in her 20s, I'm talking about when she gets older,
Right.
around Elizabeth's age.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a very sad film. It's very sad. Like I don't find it. I mean, some scenes were kind of funny, but they were more like not like laugh out loud, but more like satirical.
Right.
It was more like
Yeah.
it was more like it was more satirical. Like it's a like darkly satirical. It's a very dark satire on Hollywood beauty standards and how shallow people can be and how insane people could be to um to regain their youth.
Right.
Now
Yeah,
there's
I
a
agree.
yeah there's a it's a manga series. It's called Helter Skelter, and it's by
Hmm.
Koyoko Okazaki. That manga is a psychological horror that follows a young girl who you might think she's one of the most beautiful people in the world. That's only an image, but in reality, she is a wreck, like a wreck,
Right.
because plastic surgery, like she had plastic surgery, like plastic surgery, and but she also but she also experienced the same side effects too. Like
Hmm.
her skin, like her skin deteriorating, her mental health deteriorating, her sense of self-worth, like everything about her is deteriorating, and that's what Elizabeth slash Sue is going through. Like she's going through so much deterioration because of
Hmm.
not only because of the people's perceived shallowness, their perceived shallow thoughts about her, but also because of
Yeah,
her own destructive decisions. Because
right,
there were yeah,
exactly,
because there were moments in the film where Sue was like, "Okay, Sue, you have to follow you have to follow the fucking rule. I'm like the damn rules."
exactly.
But she didn't do it. Well, no, she didn't. Yeah, because again, they're one. Like Elizabeth, Elizabeth Sue, she didn't follow the rules.
Yeah, yeah, true, she didn't.
So it's like it's like raising a child, like raising like Sue is like 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 raising a it's like raising a kid, pretty much like a bratty kid. Like and that's what Sue is like. She's like a bright a bratty teenager,
Right,
even though she's
right.
like in her like even though she's like in her 20s, but she has the
Yep.
but she has the mannerisms of like a very bratty bitchy teenager. Like she want like saying, "Oh, I, I can do what the frick I want because I'm famous and I have I'm in the limelight." Unlike you, Elizabeth, who is just who is just who is just a popcorn at a popcorn star, pretty much.
Exactly.
But then Sue, without giving much away, she starts to like she starts to experience what her older self is going through too.
Mhm.
So it's like, yes, karma's a bitch, ain't it?
Exactly.
Like, so yeah, those are my favorite scenes in the film, and also yeah, the chicken scene was fucking crazy too, because again, like you're literally talking shit about about yourself on screen, like
Hey,
you have like, and that's the one thing, like that's one thing, like you have like don't you have other hobbies besides like she could have had other hobbies like going golfing or reading a book or you know drawing comics or playing with your or go outside get some sunlight.
right.
Yeah. And one thing I adore about the film, and one thing I like about the film is how it transitions from Elizabeth and Sue. Like when it comes to Elizabeth's perspective, when you see her perspective and her scenes, they feel more grounded in reality. They feel very dark, very
Right.
miserable very dark, miserable and dismal
Right.
compared to when she's Sue. But when she's Sue, everything's very vibrant. It's very like everything's very lively. It's vibrant. It's colorful. Um, it feels like it feels bright pastiche. Like it feels like retro. I'll say that
Yeah, sure.
it feels very retro, like very, very vibrant. That's why when you watch it, it don't feel like a horror film at first because of the way it's shot. But once it, but once the horror kicks in, it kicks in, and it kicks in real
It
good.
unexpectedly.
Especially in the last 15 minutes, like the last 15 minutes are like the most iconic ones.
Yeah, I agree. Like the
And
movie, yeah, this movie, uh, like a cross between From Beyond, The Thing, The Fly, um, Human Centipede,
yeah, that too.
Society. You know what I mean? Like, uh, man, so you got like
Then
a touch.
Professor.
You got yeah, like you got like see with the director, especially you know she kind of in this movie she kind of remind me of like David Cronenberg or even Um, like a little bit like H.P. Lovecraft,
John
John
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
Yep.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Like
Coralie
eh,
Fargeat. Yeah.
yeah, Coralie Fargeat.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah. Shout out to that.
I,
And one thing I love
yeah,
about her is that she's French, like a French director. Like, like there's another French director that also did body horror. Um,
yeah,
Julia Ducournau. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Julia Ducournau. She's a French. She's also a French director from France, and she is known for those. She's known for films like Raw and Titan, which
Mm-hmm.
Raw I need to see. I need to see it again. Yeah, yeah, Raw. Yeah, because that film is also a. It's like she'll turn to like an alien. Like thankfully she'll turn to an alien, but or some being. But no, but she does like get rashes on her body. But it's more like a body horror. It's a coming of age body horror film.
What's it called?
Yeah. Raw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or by its French title, Grave.
Oh, she turns into an alien.
No. She'll turn to an alien. She don't, but she does get like those, like those rashes on her body. Like when she eats like the meat, she starts to have like rashes
Mm-hmm.
on her body. Like that. So that's only so that's just it.
Mm,
No, like no alien transformation, no flash transformation, none of that.
mm. Good.
Yeah,
Oh God. Good. Yeah, I might watch it though.
yeah. It's a coming of age body horror film. It's a drama. Like it's a coming of age. It's drama and it's also body horror.
Mm,
So like, yeah, because
that's,
she's yeah going from like like a teen to like a young adult woman. Yeah.
mm,
So yeah, shout out to Coralie Fargeat, um, very beautiful French woman, very beautiful woman as well. Like she did her thing on this film. Like she literally like opened up how toxic the industry is when it comes to like beauty standards and everything. But also let's talk about but also like the special effects are amazing. Like the practical effects, that's one thing. Like there was no CGI. It was all it was all you know practical effects, prosthetics, and the makeup team. Everything about like everything about the production of the film was fire. Like it just harkens back to those like those 80s, like those late 70s, 80s, 90s, horror films without without sacrificing too much.
right.
And it just shows you that people can be ferocious, they can be vicious when it comes to like trying to fit in the younger crowd. They can be vicious, they can be violent, they can just they can just like curse and swear at you, because that's again like we're human, we're human, like we have strengths and flaws.
Exactly.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 5, what rating would you give the substance?
I give it a five. I give it a five. Because the pacing of it was very. The pacing of it was excellent. You know what I mean? Well done, well written. This movie is well written. Demi Moore, I think if not her best performance in her career, uh, I was glad that she got nominated for an Oscar. In fact, I was glad this whole movie got some Oscar nominations too. It well
Yeah,
deserved.
because you don't see that much in horror films. I mean, like an Oscar rating. They
I
might get
agree.
nominated. They might get nominated, but never an Oscar.
Exactly. Um, Dennis Quaid, I thought, gave one of his best performances too.
Yeah,
I kind of
he
wish.
was he was
Yeah,
so cartoon. He was so cartoony.
yeah, he was.
Like
I kind of.
like he kind of like someone in like some deranged Ren and Stimpy cartoon, like Ren and Stimpy episode.
Right.
Like he can be like those deranged George Liquor vibe. You know, if you watch Ren and Stimpy, you know like the character George Liquor. Yeah,
Hmm.
he give me those vibes. He also give me like puffy vibes. Cause you know how shisty Diddy is. Like he give me like Diddy vibes too. Like how because of how very shisty he was towards both Elizabeth and Sue.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um. Um. Yeah. I wish. Yeah, I kind of wish we saw a little bit more of Dennis Quaid, his character. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit more. My one gripe of this movie. I I'm gonna be real with you. Margaret Qualley, I thought she was the least. I thought the physicality, she was great.
yeah.
Physicality, her acting.
Let
Uh,
let's just say that scene. Nah, I want to talk about that scene.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah, no,
if you if you're scared of losing your teeth, then yeah, do not watch that scene.
exactly.
Like that's why and that's the thing. Like this film speaks it sticks with you.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. Very,
It's like you gotta
it
take care of
does.
yourself. Love you gotta love yourself. Take care of yourself no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. But
That's why I don't want to change for I don't like appearance is important because again it's very
yeah,
crucial to have like a very professional appearance, especially when you're at work
right,
or when you're hanging out with your best friends. You got to maintain a perfect appearance. But yeah, like
true.
Mark. So yeah, what you say about Margaret Qualley?
Yeah, I thought her performance physically, she gave a great physical performance, but acting wise, no, I don't think she's there yet as far as that. They could, I mean, could they have gotten somebody else? Yeah, could have, but at the same time, like, I mean, I get it. You know, the same time, like and she would, and I would be real, she wasn't really that great. Like, she's not that great looking to me. Like, she's pretty, but it's like, well,
She's
I
basic.
mean, if you, yeah, like
Yeah,
she is basic.
she's basic pretty, like basic pretty.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So she's just basic. She's not
Kind of
all that.
like Selena Gomez.
Right.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah, Selena Gomez. Yeah, she's pretty.
yeah. She's pretty, but she's like basic pretty. Like she's a basic
Basic.
pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's she, oh my
yeah. Margaret
god.
Qualley. Yeah, I think. Okay, I never seen much of her stuff because again, and also because again she's like in her third, like she's young in her thirties, so it does get so yeah, it does give you time to sit down and actually like respect her acting skills. I think so. Yeah, her acting skills.
Yeah, acting
Yeah,
skills.
yeah.
It's not.
It's not
It's
bad. It's just like she's not there yet.
no, it's not there. But
Yeah,
um,
but
focal point.
but I do love how she portrayed Sue as like some like she portrayed Sue in a very like she the way Sue acts in the film though is reminiscent of a again like I say bratty teenage daughter.
Right. Yep.
That's the
Exactly.
those are the vibes I get from Sue. It's like she acts like a bratty teenage daughter to Elizabeth, who like a mother raising her daughter.
Right.
It, so I give Margaret Qualley that like she did portray Sue in a very negative light, and she also give me
I
like
agree.
again like buddy love vibes because if you know
Yeah.
buddy love he's very egotistical. He's arrogant, highly arrogant, and controlling towards Sherman.
Hmm.
Same with how Sue is very egotistical, very manipulative, and just very shallow, and also very pompous. Even though Elizabeth, the only difference is Sherman is a genuinely kind person, whereas Elizabeth is more like she's shy, she's insecure, but she's not like a thing herself too, because she also deals with a lot of inner turmoils when it comes to like trying like that scene where she was trying to get ready for that date with Fred, and she keep reminding herself of Sue like that to me like I keep saying like okay, Elizabeth, you don't have to be you don't have to change that Sue, just go as yourself.
Exactly.
But she can. So it shows you. So it just shows you how much self hatred she has in herself, which ties into how the media treated her.
Exactly.
So yeah, for me, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm gonna give it a 5 as well because again, the story is very strong, and also the film stick with you as well because the whole film, like the whole message of the film is to love yourself for who you are, and also you got to take care of yourself too. And I tell myself and I tell myself that too, especially our parents, where they be telling us like you got to take care of yourself. You got to eat healthy, take care of your teeth, your body, and everything. Because again, your teeth are part of your body. To take care of your teeth, then everything else in your body is gonna get fucked up.
Right.
That's why when I but when it comes to teeth, um I'm gonna have to yeah I I brush twice a day slowly like no
Right.
slowly um up and down in circles, and I use the Arm& Hammer toothbrush because again I have periodontitis, which is a gum disease, so I have to make sure I have to use Arm& Hammer to like you know lessen like so, so it can like clear off all the plaque and bacteria that causes those gingivitis and everything. And
Yeah.
also I have to take, take take a bath every day. And so
Yes.
yeah this film does stick with you. It does stick with you. And
It
while
really.
and while and while at times it can be exaggerated at times, it does paint a perfect picture of how people do look at you in very negative ways, in very shallow ways too. And also, again, Sue Elizabeth younger, Elizabeth Sue older. They're one, so pretty much she's regressing. Like she's going, like she's regressing to those toxic ways of how people treated her, and it's a very sad cycle. So that means Sue. So that means she can enjoy the limelight, but she's also aware that when she comes of age, when she gets to Elizabeth's age, they're gonna treat her like they're gonna treat her like they treat her older self.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
very vicious it's a very vicious cycle.
It really is.
And also, the production is dope. I love the makeup. The special effects were very dope. Harking back to those like retro horror films. So yeah,
No,
this film is
I agree.
so this is a very great, like not just a very great horror film, but also a great character study on beauty standards and how beauty standards, the shallowness within a person, narcissism, destructive tendencies, and and battling your inner demons and loving yourself.
Exactly.
So that's my final rating for the substance. The substance is a is a on a scale of 1 to 5. It's a five. It's a 5 out of 5 film. Very dope film. Um.
Facts.
So so that's it. That's the whole review of the substance. Stay tuned for Janelle Monae's Dirty Computer. That's gonna be so. The whole film is so the review is gonna be on both the film and the album itself as well. So be on the lookout for that. Block already knows that too. So yeah, the review is gonna be on both the film and the album.
Cool,
So
cool.
yeah. So that being said, um, I'm gonna- I'm gonna end this off right here because I'm about to eat. My phone's about to go dead. But this has been a
Yeah.
very great review of of the substance. Very dope horror film. So I'm Raymania Studios,
Next movie corner and more.
and I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace out.